My name's Andrew, and I quit my corporate job to build a business in a foreign country. Everything that can go wrong will. Behind me is the wall that just collapsed here. It is 3:36 a.m. Feeling dense and pretty heavy. Farm manager's called. He wants to leave the farm. We don't have anybody to replace him. Oh. I can't believe this is happening right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're here into the third week. We are headed to the mall. We're going to pick up distilled water and some ant traps. And then we are headed to the farm to check out the situation. Thank you. Thanks so much. We're headed to get the ant traps first because the distilled water is going to be heavy. Smaller items than the bigger ones. Salamat ate, thank you. It's kind of expensive. Tarana?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Oh, did I pull it too early?
Thank you.
Thank you. I've always had a problem with pulling out too early. Still at SM, we're grabbing distilled water. When we administer the vaccine goes in the water and then it gets filtered in through the regular water line. But it's important to have a good balanced pH, so that's why we get distilled water. I'll just grab 6 liters, so I'm gonna get 2. Quick trip there, got our water, got our ant traps. We're gonna keep these receipts. This is write-off stuff here, okay? Put this in the spreadsheet, we'll hold on to the receipts, and when tax time comes, hopefully this diligence pays dividends. It's 26 degrees out, and a few days ago it was like 32 degrees. So the temperature's been fluctuating a lot, which has made it challenging to maintain a consistent environment inside the farm. What the outside temperature is heavily influences the inside temperature. So we're at the farm, gonna spray down the car. If you bring viruses into the farm, you don't know until it's propagating around your chickens and you lose a batch and you have a bad harvest. So, biosecurity, baby. Now wash our hands and sanitize our shoes in this foot bath here. Give you a quick look at what the control room looks like. We have a window here where you can look out into the farm from this little viewing area. And then this is where the control is. So you can get a rough idea of the temperature here, 27.1 degrees. It's been really cold the last few days. You can shut the lights off, all the lights here. Then we also have a whiteboard there where we keep a running track of the daily feeds that we give and the mortality. Let's go take a look inside. I feel a big draft from the ventilation fans pulling air in. So here we have a day 16 chicken here. Feeling dense and pretty heavy. Look at him there. Good manuk. We're gonna go see the nursery that just got put in. Whoops, watch out, brother. But on the way there, you spot one like this. It's quite a bit smaller. Like, let's look at him next to this beefy guy. So you can see he's a little bit lighter. So we're gonna bring him to the nursery as well. So we get the kuyas to do a walkthrough at least once a day with a basket and pick up all the smaller chickens to put them in the nursery. And you can tell sometimes when you pick these ones up, they have like no reaction at all. Like if I go grab him, this guy, you see him, he's kind of running away. But sometimes you just go grab one and they don't move at all. And it's usually, they're pretty weak. Let's grab this one here too. 2 small birds here. You see the water line. It'd be tough for him to get that high and get a drink. He probably could, but you don't want them having to like be up on their tippy toes every time they get up to it. We're here at the new nursery. So we'll put these guys in there. Since the uniformity hasn't been great, there's almost like 3 different sizes of chickens that you're seeing. You see the big, full busog ones and like medium-sized ones, and then there's been really small ones. So really small ones we've been putting down there, but we've made a second nursery for ones that are kind of just slightly under the size we'd like them to be at. Admittedly, been a little bit lax on getting undersized birds into the nursery, and we're starting to see the consequence of that now. So we're trying to be on top of that, and that's a lesson learned in this first growth cycle here. So we're going through, we're raking the rice hull, flipping it over so the surface is dry for the chickens to walk on. If it's really wet, it doesn't absorb the moisture from their shit like you want it to, and they can actually end up getting like calluses and blisters on their feet. Helps keep flies down as well when it's more absorbent. Look at this guy. Move, bruh. You gotta talk to them sometimes. Everything kind of comes back in circle. One bad thing can compound into many more bad things. You need to be very attentive to every aspect. The ventilation, the state of the rice hull, the behavior of the chickens, the height of the water line, the kind of food you're giving them at different stages, the temperature in here. If one thing's left at 10 and 4 for even 1 or 2 days, then that could have a dramatic effect that could even be irreparable. In December in Canada, we shovel our driveways. In December in the Philippines, I shovel shit. We're learning a lot. Obviously, some mistakes are being made along the way. Nothing detrimental right now, but some fixes we'll make now and implement in the next cycle. We'll see you in the next one. We're driving to the farm now. It is almost 2 p.m. Like I say, these have been long days out here. Like the saying goes, you can't hate the work that you wish for. Being busy, having a lot of work is a privilege in a sense. So try not to complain about the work that you create for yourself, as it's required to get done to build anything successful. Hey dog. Okay, watch out, homeboy. I'm gonna do a quick wash of the hands before we head in and see the chickens. Cut that. The chickens are looking big. Every time we show up, they're looking bigger, they're looking more full. You really have to be hands-on in a business like this, especially if you don't have a background in agriculture or farming. Like, I didn't grow up in a business like this, so I don't have the knowledge and skills of somebody that was born into it. And the only way to really learn these things is to be hands-on and to do it yourself. Taking care of live animals comes from building up an intuition and your experience in seeing them and dealing with them. And you've made mistakes that you've learned from, but we've made a bunch of mistakes this first harvest, and the doctors taught us a lot when they've arrived, and those are things we'll change and implement in the next cycle. I spotted an undersized chicken, and we're gonna see if we can snag him real quick before he runs away and put him in the nursery. Got him. He's quick, but he's not that quick. Here we go. We're here inside the expanded nursery. You can see there's a lot more chickens in here than there has been. Every day we try to add more to make sure smaller ones aren't getting left in the main population where they're struggling to grow. And you can see we have the manual feeding trays out and more manual water trays. So there's a lot easier access to the resources that the chickens need to grow. The manual drinkers are empty here, so we're gonna grab these and fill them up so we can keep these Minook in the nursery hydrated. Some happy Minook in there. Fuck. 4 water trays for some thirsty chickens. We'll potentially be back here at 4 in the morning to lay down a fresh rice hull and then straight to feeding time, so we'll see you then. It is 3:36 a.m. We're headed to the farm. We're gonna catch, what the fuck are we doing? We're gonna be spreading some fresh rice hull across the inside of the farm and feeding the chickens. So let's go check out what that's like. We opted for the energy drink over the coffee. A little more refreshing. We've arrived at the farm. Let's go see if the Minook are up. Some nice stars out here. You don't get stars like this in the city, but you do out here in the province. So, good morning. Nothing like wrangling chickens at 4 a.m., baby. There's nothing like it. Okay, so we're spreading out fresh rice hull. So you see, it's very compacted and wet, not ideal. Now we'll just lay some fresh stuff down for the last week or so. It's like putting fresh bed sheets on your bed. You crawl in, it feels better and nicer. And that's what it's like here for the chickens. And I know because I've asked them, and that's what they said. It's important starting out, at least for me. I want to touch every single part of the business, even something as simple as raking. You can hear what the task is, but you don't really know until you do it yourself and see what it actually entails. Last row here, burning out a little bit. That Monster Energy is starting to wear off here. We'll get it done. You can't be moping around here in the morning with your employees around. Oh, I'm too tired to do work. Not around here. We just get it done. I'll tell you, there's nothing like it. You wake up in the morning, you know, your alarm goes off, you're tired, you don't want to get up. When I'm coming out here to rake chicken shit, I'm up before my alarm. I set my alarm at 3, I'm up at 2:30. Set my alarm at 2:30, I'm up at 2. It's just how it is. 6 a.m. So you guys are still sleeping. We're already finished the day's work. Come on now. It's about 7 a.m. We've filled up the main automatic feeding bin here, and we'll run this through in a few minutes here. I think that's it. We're headed home. Maybe a nap in store for me today. Have a chat with a lawyer later this evening, and then we'll see what happens. We're on the way to the construction site where apparently there's been some unfortunate damage. It's been raining and raining so much, and I guess there was a landslide of sorts that collapsed part of the wall that's been built. And this is yet another example of everything that can go wrong will. And that is what we're seeing here. Obviously, you can't predict, you know, specific issues with construction. You hope it goes well, but there's a million things that can go wrong. And generally, you need to be prepared for when they do, because if it can, it probably will. We're here, see what's progressed. We'll check the damage. We'll check out the construction workers put up their barracks. For those watching in the Western world, you're gonna say, what the hell? These workers live here? And they do. The first thing they built is their home. So we'll check that out as well. So this is where the damage is. You can see the bottom of the wall even starting to fall out from under itself. And this used to be a full, complete wall that's all collapsed. This part's probably gonna have to come down too. It's tipping over. Good news is the excavator's working. So you can see from this angle, all this rubble is the collapsed wall. And you can see the remaining wall at the bottom there kind of folding out and the ground's just falling out from underneath it. We'll fix it. It'll be fine. So right now, they're building a temporary canal along the side of this building to filter water or drain water away from the inside. They're starting to weld some of the trusses together. Unfortunately, this is now taking priority, but that's what these materials are here for. And this will come after this wall gets repaired. The excavator's gotten out of the way. You can see already how much flatter the land is and how much dirt's been removed. This was really all grown in, and it wasn't even possible to walk along the side of this farm. So it already looks a lot better than it did even just when we got here. Starting to tear down the rest of the wall that's already falling over. So we'll get that removed before building a fresh one. Behind me here, this is the barracks that the construction workers built for themselves. Got the Kuyas down there working. There's a couple Titas down there as well. So it's really turned into a little community here. It's pretty cool. You don't see that back in North America, setting up shop to live at the construction site. See, Kuyas been hard at work. Big pile of concrete building up here. It's very manual, and he's been here for a while doing it. So there you have it. We are compounding issues here, baby. It's not quite as structured as you'd see in North America. You just kind of freewheel it a little bit, but learning a lot, and I'm confident next building will be a little smoother than this one, so on and so forth. So farm manager's called. He wants to leave the farm. We don't have anybody to replace him, so we're gonna head there and see what it's all about. I actually woke up thinking I was just gonna be at my desk at home all day, but you gotta expect the unexpected here. At the start of running a business, owning any business, you are the one that needs to solve the problems. Things don't come to you unless it's an issue. It's usually not the good stuff coming to you, it's the bad stuff, and it's your job to solve it as quick as you can, and that's what we're gonna try to do here today. You probably hear me say it, but everything that can go wrong will, and that's what we're seeing here again. And it's not a pessimistic statement, but it's just essentially something that I keep in mind to keep me aware of all the things that could potentially go wrong, and then you try to think of solutions before problems actually materialize. Biosecurity, baby. Got things sorted out with Kuya. He'll be here at least until the end of the cycle. And then we may need to hire somebody else to help with the cleanup, but that's okay. And it's week 3 weigh-in time, actually, which I completely forgot. So we're gonna go weigh the birds, see how heavy they are at week 3. 4.89. Okay. They're doing samples of 5 here. Again, it's important to take samples at different areas within the inside of the farm. Okay. Done. About to compute it. We're at week 3, average live weight around 1 kilogram. That's the end of week 3. We still have our farm manager. We're 1 week away from the harvest. Follow, subscribe, stay tuned, because there's more good stuff to come.